Hello, welcome back. Today we got some predictions. We got a prediction video. I'm literally gonna speed run with the Magic 8 Ball this Mexico card. I literally do not give a fuck about basically all of the early prelims, most of the main card. But once we get to, the good fights, I'll put down the 8 Ball. So let's get straight into it with the first fight from the UFC Fight Night Mexico. We got a Damian Pinas versus Wes Schultz. And, I'm looking at their stats here, blah, blah, blah. Damian has 88% KO chance to win by, basically. And Wes Schultz got a 63% of a chance to get a submission. But what really scares me here is Damian Pinas's average fight time is a minute, 46 seconds, okay? And then per 15 minutes, he knocks down 8.5. He gets 8.5 knockdowns. So is it going to be Damian Pinas by flatline KO in the first round? Concentrate, ask again. Will Francis Marshall win by decision? Bro, concentrate, ask again. Will Francis Marshall win by decision in UFC Mexico? Signs point to yes. So we got Francis Marshall by decision. Next one, Regina Turin versus Ernesta Carrecaite. I have no idea who this is. Let's go to their win by. Who's getting the decision here, basically? This debutant or Ernesto? Will this debutant come in and show up and show out and win by the decision for this WMMA bout? Outlook not so good. Looks like Ernesta is gonna bring it home. Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Javier Reyes. We got a solid Colombia versus Brazil matchup. Got some two vets. They both got some fucking records on them. Holy shit. Win by checking that. It's more favored by Douglas by KO, but none of them really have a submission chance. That's basically what it's saying here. So we got basically a striking matchup. Might get a little bit of grappling, but will Javier Reyes win his UFC debut? Outlook good. Yeah, Javier Reyes by, we'll say decision. Chris Moutinho versus Christian Quinones. Wow, this is going to be such a good one. Will Chris Moutinho lose? Yes. Wait. Oh, it's having a conniption. It can't choose one. What is this, bro? The bubbles are in the way, bro. This shit fucking sucks. Yes, definitely. Chris Moutinho is going to get loose and get cut again. We're going to say by decision. Eileen Perez versus Macy Chiasson. Chiasson or whatever. I'm going to go with Eileen Perez, obviously. Probably by torque nuke. That probably makes the most sense. She's just going to drop it down in the octagon once and, the whole shit's going to break like that one WWE match with I think, what was it? I think it was like The Big Show. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, where that whole shit went. I don't know if it was like Mark Henry. I don't know. I was like fucking 3 years old watching that. But yeah, we're going to go Eileen Perez by Torque Nuke. And next fight, oh my God, Jose Daniel Medina. We saw him get graved by Ateba Gutierrez versus Ryan Gondra, who's from Brazil, and this is his debut. My gut really kind of wants to go with Ryan here. Let's go to the win by. What's it looking like? They're kind of giving it to Medina by KO more, or TKO. But it seems like that Ryan Gondra has the better, I guess, striking lands per minute, significant strike percentage, defensive percentage, all that. And he has 100% takedown defense. So I think this one speaks for itself. I think Ryan Gondra is going to come out here and win his UFC debut. I could see him getting a TKO here. Let's see. Or decision. I'm going to say, will Ryan Gondra get a TKO over Jose Daniel Medina? What does this say? Signs point to yes. So Ryan Gondra by finish. Fuck with that. Winning his UFC debut. Let's go to the main card here. Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco. I don't know too much about Angel Pacheco or Santiago Luna, but I think just looking at Pacheco's face, I think I saw his last fight and I just hated him. I don't know. His face looks very familiar, like someone I hate. He is up for the chance to get TKO or KO, whatever. He's at 71%, which Santiago Luna has more of a submission threat or whatever. But Angel here has more landed per minute. That's good. But he also has more strikes absorbed per minute. So, he'd be eating that shit. And then, Santiago Luna has 100% takedown defense. So that could be big here too. But it doesn't really talk about Angel here being a crazy grappler or whatever. But I don't like Angel's face. We're going to go Santiago Luna by decision. Am I correct? Yes. Santiago Luna winning by decision here. Next one. Imanol Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. I'm not too familiar with both of these guys, but this fight actually looks pretty good, bro. They both look pretty fucking scary, especially for flyweight. Holy shit. Let's go to the win by here. Oh, they're giving it Imanol by 82% KO TKO. But Kevin Borjas has an 80% finish as well for KO TKO. That's pretty crazy. I guess if you go down to the significant strikes, Imanol got 9 average per minute. Kevin Borjas got 4 average per minute. They both kind of got around the same significant strikes. Imanol's a little bit ahead with 58% to Kevin's 44. They're both pretty much go band for band. I'm not gonna lie. I think Imanol might kind of have a little bit better, but that's it. I think I'm gonna go with my gut here. I'm gonna go with Mexico. Imanol Rodriguez, will he win by decision? Please, universe, give me the response we need. My sources say no. Imanol's gonna lose his UFC debut, bro. I don't know why the universe is feeling this way, but it is. For this one, we got Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Bunes. Bro, I actually fuck with Edgar Chairez heavy, bro. And I know he's not the craziest flyweight of all time, but what really made me fall in love with him was his fight against Joshua Van at the Sphere, bro. I had never watched an Edgar Chairez fight before that. And obviously Joshua Van was still in the come up, but just seeing how Edgar was doing Joshua Van in the first couple rounds was crazy. And his boxing, just like everything, his speed, his accuracy, like everything about his like technique really had me like amazed. And I watched that fight back recently and still felt the same way. So I really want to go Edgar Chairez by I honestly want to see a decision war. Personally, that's me just for seeing Edgar Chairez. Obviously would love to see a KO or a TKO, but let's go to the win by here. They're giving it 67% sub to Edgar, 64 to Bunez here. Significant strikes. They both pretty much go band for band with that. With the grappling, they're both pretty average with that too. I guess Bunez averages 2 submissions per 50 minutes to Edgar's 1.5, but this one seems pretty band for band. I'm gonna go Edgar Chairez by decision here. This one looks like it could be a good one. Good fight on the main card. Am I correct? Edgar Chairez by decision. Yes. That's what we like to see. Daniel Zellhuber versus King Green. We're gonna put the 8-ball down now. Will Bobby Green somehow take this to a decision? And if he does, will he win? No, probably not. But I could see Daniel Zellhuber definitely finishing him. If I'm giving like a raw, like my prediction on this, I think Daniel Zellhuber's gonna try to grapple with him. I could see him taking him down once or twice. Between through the fight, I feel like that's something he feels like or if I'm Daniel Zellhuber, that's something I feel like I would need to work on. But his striking is pretty good too. He's lanky, he's tall, he lands, he's got power, he does damage. But if I'm gonna say Daniel Zellhuber by second round TKO. That's what really makes sense to me. I could see a good scrap for a first round, but and I could see him touching Bobby's chin a lot, kind of like getting some early damage up on Bobby. But or King or whatever. Sorry. But yeah, that's why I want to win. I got Daniel Zellhuber by second round TKO. This fight should be really entertaining. I always love watching a Bobby Green fight. The last time I watched a Bobby Green fight, I was at work, and I was talking to these dudes at the bar. It was their birthday, and I was talking to them about King or Bobby or whatever, and I was just talking about him or whatever, and then he fucked with Bobby. But it was Bobby's last fight. I forgot who it was against, but he was just walking forward. You know what I'm saying? Just walking him down as Bobby does. So that was pretty entertaining. But I'm going to Daniel Zellhuber by second round TKO. And then David Martinez versus Cheeto. David Martinez by destruction. I'm going with that. Cheeto's on the second half of his career. His chin's still good. He is knockdownable now that we saw that after the Figgy fight. But Marlon's just, I don't see him winning this fight. I could see David Martinez actually TKOing him, dropping him and following up. But, I don't know. It's either that or a decision that I see David Martinez obviously winning. And then Cheeto obviously acts like he got robbed, like he does every time he reacts to his decision loss, which is like every fight, bruh. But we're going to go to the stats here. Yeah, they're calling David Martinez the better striking, I guess, to have the better chance at finding that KO or TKO. None of them don't really get too many knockdowns. So that's what makes me think it's just going to be like a battered kind of decision. They both kind of go band for band with the significant strikes, except Cheeto kind of absorbs more. And I guess David Martinez's defense is a little bit better. We'll go to the grappling here. David Martinez has 100% takedown defense, but I don't think we're going to have to worry about grappling in this fight. I think this is straight up just going to be just straight up striking. And I think that Cheeto's chin probably will hold up. If not, he might get knocked down once, maybe twice, but probably not. Maybe once. But I could see David Martinez just out tit for tatting him, landing the better shots, having the better technique to where the power translates, and that's where the damage gets inflicted from. But that's really it. I'm going to go David Martinez by decision. This fight should be good, but it's not the best fight of all time. And that is a co-main event. So that's why I didn't even really, bro. I literally didn't even want to make fights about the card for real, but, or not fights, a video about these shitty fucking fights, bro. But main event, Brandon Moreno versus Loner Kavanaugh. Both coming off a loss. Loner taking this fight on short notice. Obviously, they gave it to Charles Johnson first, but he wasn't medically cleared at the time or something like that, even though he said he would be chilling. But the UFC thinks this is the better option. As much as I want Loner Kavanaugh to win just to get some new momentum in flyweight, I think Brandon Moreno is going to outvet him into a decision. This is 5 rounds. And I don't think I've ever seen Loner have a chance to go 5 rounds. So I have no idea about anything with his conditioning. If he'll hold up, will he get tired? I don't know. I think he'll be fine. It is a flyweight bout. Flyweights tend to have really good cardio because they're so small, and they have to be more technical. They have to have better game planning, especially with cardio involved, so they don't gas out, so they can, don't get out destroyed by their other flyweight who's probably, breezing through these 5 rounds. But I don't know. I really want Loner Kavanaugh to win, but I don't think I see Brandon Moreno letting that happen. I think Brandon Moreno's defense is too good. I think he will out-tit for tat Loner Kavanaugh. I definitely think he'll get touched up and maybe lose a couple rounds. But unless Loner Kavanaugh somehow takes Brandon Moreno down and TKOs him like how Tatsudo Taira did, which was crazy because I don't know. But that was a crazy fight too, Brandon Moreno versus Tatsudo. But yeah, I'm going to go Brandon Moreno by decision here. I don't think I see him finishing Loner. Actually, I don't know, bro, because I could see him finding the sub. Like, deadass, I could see him finding the sub. I think Loner Kavanaugh's takedown defense is too good, though, to where, he will just be held down for like a whole round. But I think Brandon Moreno's jiu-jitsu and grappling is really good, too, to where that could just neutralize that, and he could smudge him for a couple rounds and take those rounds, if you know what I mean. But I don't know. I'm going to go Brandon Moreno by decision here. That's what my gut says. But I would not be surprised if he somehow finds a sub. I don't think I see him, like, sleeping Loner, like TKOing him or anything. But I don't know. I could see Brandon Moreno's leg kicks really, 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 really doing something to Loner's mobility, though. So, and then I think that if you take out one of his front legs, if he fights orthodox or whatever, take out one of his legs, and then he's not moving as forward as much. That might destroy his takedown defense a little bit too, making him if his shit's compromised. But I don't know. Brandon Moreno whips them leg kicks, so that's that. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, going to Brandon Moreno by decision here. I love whipping out the 8-ball for fights I literally do not care about. But that is it. Where are we at? Should I just do 326 predictions? Nah, I'm just going to do this one. If y'all enjoyed this video, whipping out the 8-ball, appreciate it. Leave a like, comment, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, nothing really much else to say. Let me know if I'm tripping on these predictions or if y'all don't trust the 8-ball, because the reason I like using the 8-ball because it's not me. I'm literally asking the universe the question and the universe is answering. So who knows? You can say it's just an 8-ball. I don't know. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if y'all enjoyed. Thank you. You guys have a good day.